All right. It is currently 26 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and I can feel it. Today's leg day, so I'm looking forward to that. Had a long weekend. This morning I didn't want to get up. I felt lazy. And then I remembered what Marcus Aurelius said. Was I born to huddle under the covers and stay warm? Or was I born to work and to do what humans do? To make change and order from chaos. We had a minute, right? And I left my towel inside. All right. Good morning, everybody. I had just finished my cold plunging. Now it's time for some Daily Stoa. This morning I woke up feeling very lazy, maybe even slightly sick. I remember my first thought being, just sleep in another hour. More rest can only be beneficial. And immediately I knew that wasn't the man I want to be. That wasn't the person I've been trying to be speaking. I've been working so hard on being the best version I can be, on being the man I want to be. And the first thing that happens when I wake up is the boy I was starts to speak. So I asked myself, what would I do if I was the man I wish to be? And then I followed accordingly. Got up and cold plunged. A quote from Marcus I really love that helps me on mornings like these goes like this. When you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of? If I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into this world to do, or is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm?
Yeah. It's a good quote to ask yourself every morning, kind of set your mind straight. And your whole thing about the boy wanting to sleep in, but the man having to get up, makes me think, I like how you ground your thought process in like realism. My head seems to gravitate towards like books and quotes I've heard or things I've seen on TV. And that made me think of Maester Aemon from Game of Thrones telling Jon Snow to kill the boy and let the man be born.
Yeah. True.
It's one of those things. It's so funny. I always find quotes that kind of help me get through stuff. Like off camera, I tell myself before I want to like do something difficult or cold plunge or something, I try to say the trick, William Potter, is not minding that it hurts, which is from an old show. Can't remember, but some dude in the desert. And I just remember David from Prometheus rewatching it when he was studying humans and cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a really interesting psyche. It's not minding the pain, choosing to ignore it. I don't know. Quotes help us kind of like center ourselves in the focal point of our thought.
Yeah, well, everyone's so absorbed in emotion and current feelings.
Yeah.
To quote Jordan Peterson, he said something like, and this is probably definitely not word for word, but it was, to be mature is to have no ties to the present. And it just means that if you're so absorbed in immediate gratification
or validation,
then you can't live for your future self. You can't live a happy life because every moment is so important to your current self. How are you supposed to enjoy anything fully?
It's a good perspective.
I just like thinking every morning how I can unlearn all the things, unbecome everything I don't no longer want to be. I can't remember who said it or what the quote was.
I know which one it is. It's Bukowski. We are here to unlearn the teachings of our educational. No,
that's not what I'm thinking.
There's many quotes. There's another one that says that we spend half of our lives being force-fed education, and then the other half of our life unlearning that false education and learning the real one, you know?
Yeah. It might have been a Stoic. I think it was Epicurus or something. Maybe, or one of them. But it was, maybe not. But it's not about the man you want to become. It's about unbecoming everything you no longer want to be.
I think that's a quote that I can take with me into not just the day, but the week. I've still got a lot of things I'm currently trying to unbecome. It's the hardest part. When you're trying to become somebody new, you got to get rid of the body. Shed the fat, dice it up, throw it in a garbage bag, drop it off. Where would Dexter drop off those bodies? It was like in that
harbor.
The stream. There was like a current in the stream, and he would drop it so it would like take it off down to like New Mexico or something. That's what I got to do with my old self. Chop it up.
Bay Harbor Butcher.
For real.
I like movies like those or shows like those and stuff because not because he's like killing people, but because
it does a deep dive in his psyche. Yeah.
Well, nothing stops him. He's so twisted that he's never concerned with immediate gratification. The only time he is when he's so absorbed in the fact he has to murder somebody.
I feel like the only time he is gratified is when in a moment he's overcome somebody. Like even, we'll say like Dokes is on to him, but he knows how to play the part, and that gratifies him. Looking like the prey in front of the predator probably gratifies him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well that's my favorite thing about the show was that the whole time he is so focused on being somebody like better than who he really is.
Oh yeah.
But he's doing that for everyone else to see because he knows who he really is. But yet he works harder than anybody to maintain this persona of the man that he could be or would be if he wasn't such a twisted killer.
Yeah.
And while everyone is falling apart and everything, he has everything figured out because he has to be 10 steps ahead or everyone's going to be onto him.
Yeah.
I wonder if they can see him in the background.
You see? Remy.
But yeah, moral of the story. If you're having trouble, get up today, tomorrow, and any day in the future. Ask yourself, what would you do if you were the person you wished you were? Create a mental image of the man or the woman you want to be. And then do and say as that person would. And one day, you'll realize you're no longer pretending.
I like that. I'll finish off with maybe one more quote because what you said actually made me think of something. but it might not play into it, but it's a quote, and it goes, "Do you remember who you were before the world told you who to be?"
Yeah.
It's another Bukowski quote.
Alrighty.
All right, let's get that workout done. Get to our day.